Alright, I'm live. Let me see how many people will come in. I'm outside, so let me know if you can hear me well. I don't know how this is going to work outside, but I decided that I wanted some vitamin D. Put my AirPods in. Alright, so let me know if you all can hear me well on my platforms. If everything is good. Okay. Alright. Can you hear me well on YouTube? Can you all hear me well on Periscope? If you can, give me some hearts. Okay, good. Roam me wrong. Can hear me well on YouTube, so I may start going live outside more often. It is peaceful. It's very peaceful, and being outside in the sun. Thank you. I'm glad you can hear me well. Gives you vitamin D, right? It gives you vitamin D, and which helps boost your immune system. So I've actually been outside in my yard. Just decided to do some yard work, and I wanted to, take a little break and just do my live outside. Glad to hear the birds chirping and everything. Haven't seen a lot in the air. I've heard that the flying insects are also affected as well. So just glad to hear the birds chirping in the background. But look, I want to get right into this. I need YouTube to do something for me. Hit the thumbs up. Facebook, make sure you share this on your page. And Periscope, if you can hear me well, hit the thumbs up, right? Show me some hearts. Periscope, show me some hearts. So I made sure that I'm getting my immune system built. Let me adjust this. And just not being outside, so I have different devices out here that I'm going live with, and I didn't know how the wind blowing would affect all of that. So I might do more of this moving forward, right? Moving forward. But I want to come before you and just let you know about some recent changes in the FHA loans. In the FHA loans recently, all the major banks, Wells Fargo, Chase, any major bank that you can think of, Capital One, have made changes to their loan system. Whereas in the past, you used to be able to qualify with the 580 credit score for a home mortgage. Now, just recently updated this week, the changes have been, excuse me, YouTube, trying to fix this on Facebook. The changes are that you have to have a 640 credit score, or a 680, right? A 640 credit score or a 680 credit score now to qualify for a FHA loan. So this is all the major banks that have implemented this, and you have some people on social media that's saying, oh, we don't think the FICO 10 is going to be adopted by banks. We don't think the banks are going to, bring this in. Well, the banks are the first ones to make the chess move. The banks are the first ones right now to upgrade the requirements. They have not lowered the interest rates, and because the banks do not want to be at risk, right, during this recession, or as many people are defining it as a global depression, comparing it to the the depression, the Great Depression of the 1930s. And so banks are already in preparatory. If you watch my YouTube live and Facebook live yesterday, I read that if you have an account with my FICO, with myfico.com, if you have an account, that in that account with myfico.com, it is already notifying you that the banks are, that you have something called the resilience score, right? The resilience score. And in that score, the resilience score on myfico.com is already having a new scoring model for people that have high debt ratio. So now the people that used to come before me and ask me questions like, now, do you think now is the best time to buy a home? It may be too late if you don't have your credit fixed, because no longer are the banks looking at things from a 30-day snapshot, right? Meaning that when you used to be able to get an authorized trade line added to your credit score, and in that AU trade line, it will temporarily appear as though you've had good credit for in the previous 30 days. It will no longer look that way. Banks and lenders are able to look at your credit history from 2 years, and FHA is already have made these changes. So you have the Chase, the Bank of America, the Wells Fargo requiring 640, 680 minimum credit score, and no negatives, no derogatories within the last 2 years. So I have been just an advocate on social media about get your credit fixed now before July hits, because FICO 10 is coming. Well, it appears it's already here, right? It's just going to be officially announced or implemented in July, but the changes are already here. And Facebook, thank you so much for the digital love. Thank you so much for those digital love on Facebook. And so, now you have people that, hello, Brandon from Raleigh, North Carolina. And let me make this, I guess, announcements right now. I have some comments every now and then from people that say, you stop in the middle of what you're saying to acknowledge the people that are live on your live streams, and it's hard for me to follow you. Well, I'm sorry. That's what it is. I feel like after a while, people that support me in the channel, because I don't have to give this information for free. It's nothing wrong with me calling their names out or telling them thank you for the digital love or whatever they do. So if your attention span is that short that you can't follow an information video, but you can watch Netflix and your cable all day long, right? Then you're not a serious person anyway, right? And so yeah, I do that, and I will, if I make more videos while I'm out and about and driving, I will not entertain questions until I've reached my destination and put my vehicle in park. But that's what I do, right? Lee Brown, you are so correct on YouTube. Bill Gates is developing it. And a lot of people will consider me a conspiracy theory, but they don't understand conspiracy is all throughout history. You know what? And I'm going to get back to the FHA requirements that are 640 and 680. Someone on Periscope said, don't change, it's all good. They can leave and go somewhere else. They really can. You can really leave and go somewhere else, people, because I'm all about helping people financially, health-wise, and as much as I can, right? As much as I can. And so Dr. Boris Watkins, let me say this. And then we'll get back on Bill Gates and FHA. Because you need to stop listening to these speaking heads on that tube or your television anyway, and get some real education and some real financial and health information. But Dr. Boyce Watkins hosted, and Dr. Boyce Watkins have thousands and thousands of people on his live stream, right? And he hosted a life-changing live last night, speaking about this pandemic and this disease. And it was about 98 people on that live stream. And he gave actual facts from what the media is reporting, right? Yeah, Dr. Boyce Watkins is the truth. He gave actual facts. The media is reporting something different, but he gave actual facts. And it was about 98 people alive. But if Dr. Boyce Watkins was talking about the stock market, or that he normally averaged thousands of people live. And if you didn't catch his live stream, you definitely need to do that, because I have found that the videos with the least views give the most powerful information. I'm going to say that again. The videos with the least views give the most powerful information. And what I mean by that, for example, is 60 minutes, for example. 60 minutes video is scarce. Facebook and Periscope. It's shaking a little bit because the wind is shaking, but I'm loving it, so let's stay with me. But it gave the most powerful video on the effects of people with the swine flu vaccine. When the swine flu vaccine was developed, and a lady and her husband, and they were suing because the lady was paralyzed and her husband had so many complications from that vaccine. And people, that video that's 10 years old on YouTube only have 13,000 views. 13,000 views. And then I found this other person on YouTube. It's crypto something. I forgot his name. Crypto something. And his videos are at least 2 years old, right? 2 years old. And he is speaking about Bitcoin and things that Japan has legalized Bitcoin 2 years ago. And he's talking about where we are entering into now concerning Bitcoin and cryptocurrency and the digital dollar. And his videos are getting less than 1,000 views. He has less than 200 something subscribers. Powerful videos to position people for this wealth transfer. But recently, what I see on YouTube and most of social media is people disencouraging people from getting real estate and rental properties. They're telling them now that, with the government making it illegal, or not illegal, with the government giving people an extension of times to pay on their mortgage, now is not the time to buy real estate. That is so far from the truth. Now is the best time to buy real estate. And this is why. If you qualify credit-wise, right? This is why the changes on FHA is being made. Thank you, Periscope, for the digital love. This is why the threshold for a higher credit score is in effect. Because only 1% of the population owns the wealth. And they don't want you in this wealth transfer. They don't want you in this wealth transfer. So they are just encouraging and say, oh yeah, the government is giving people extensions for being late on their mortgages, and you might not want to have tenants at this time. Well, let me tell you, you still have people that have essential jobs that will need somewhere to rent. What about your nurses that still will need Airbnb locations? What about your doctors during this pandemic? What about your firefighters, your policemen? Do not rent to anyone that doesn't have an essential job. That wouldn't make sense during this time. When people have a place to lease or rent out, there are over hundreds of applications at a time that you have to cherry pick about who you want to choose. And so I'm seeing channels that get 3,000 views, 2,000 views at a time, and they are discouraging people for some reason to get these houses that are now up for grabs, that are being a part of foreclosed property, for whatever reason they are discouraging you from being a part of the wealth transfer. And a lot of people have been sitting on the fence. A lot of people would ask me, when is the best time to buy a home? And I would tell them, I said, well, no, wait about 4 or 5 months, because home prices will take a big dip in 4 or 5 months. But now I'm changing it because I see that they are making it even harder for you credit wise to qualify for a home, or if you want to be an investor, right? And pretty soon, the banks are going to a cashless society. So you need to know about cryptocurrency. For example, did you know in Japan 2 years ago that it was totally legalized for Bitcoin? They legalized that in Japan 2 years ago. And so now you have people that are discouraging you from improving your credit, saying, oh, I don't think that they will adopt the FICO 10. It's already changed. It's already changed. So let me get to my FICO. Okay, myfico.com is a website, right? Myfico.com is a website that you go on and you find your true credit score. I have been informing people for years that what you see on Credit Karma, Credit Sesame, all of these platforms is not your true credit score. It's not what the banks will look at. It's not what the lenders will look at to approve you or not approve you for a loan, right? And so now people were so big in the credit industry. Okay, Brandon said he didn't know that. Okay, thanks, Brandon. Thanks, Periscope, for those hearts and the digital love. And so, for so long, people that are doing credit help or credit restoration have been showing Credit Karma credit scores as proof of their work, right? Number one, Credit Karma, I'm just looking at that little book. Credit Karma only shows you Equifax and TransUnion. So you have to know all three of your credit score. You're going to know that from myfico.com. Myfico.com, yes, Miss Wells on Facebook. Myfico.com just made changes. And one of my followers on YouTube put me on this to their scoring system, and it's called the Resilience Credit Score. So did you all know that? Do you know about those changes in myfico.com? The true FICO score that banks and lenders use? Put yes or no in the comments for me while I take a sip of this water. Okay, John said Credit Karma is only good for looking at your Equifax and TransUnion. My FICO is on point. Someone on Periscope said yes. Ms. Wells on Facebook says no. Right, it's good for monitoring, but it won't help you know what's going on with your experience. And banks and lenders look at all three credit scores. Kevin on Facebook said no. Anyone else? Okay, Miss Williams. No, not Miss Williams. Facebook says yes. Okay, Brandon said he did not know on YouTube. Periscope says yes. So my FICO have already. John says stay hydrated. I'm trying to, John. Okay, no on YouTube. I am trying to. But you know what? I am so thankful just to be outside to get this. And I'm going to go back to my FICO. But for a long time, I always said I just want to be out of Mississippi. I want to leave Mississippi. I thought Mississippi was too slow. I am so glad to be in Mississippi now. I am so glad to be surrounded by green trees where I'm getting pure oxygen and not 5G radiation towers. I am so glad that Mississippi is still allowing me to go to the gym and get exercise at this time, because health is wealth and all of the gyms have not been closed. I am so glad to be a Mississippian at this time. I will never again, ever talk bad about the state of Mississippi. Ever. I'm so glad I don't have 5G towers up when I walk the stripway like people do right now in Las Vegas. And I have to breathe in those radioactive waves. And I'm so glad that I even came back to Facebook, because I have 20 people live on my Facebook right now, and they're showing some digital love, and 21 live on Facebook. John says Southern Country is the best. Southern Country, it is the best living, people, because let me tell you what I can do in Mississippi. My grandparents have inherited some land to me and my family. And if push comes to shove, and I have to go back to my roots and start agriculture and growing my own crops and foods and things, I can do that. So I'm so glad to be in Mississippi, and not in these big cities that are shutting down and keeping people quarantined so they can put up the 5G towers. I'm so glad that I'm surrounded by trees that's giving me pure oxygen and not radioactive waves. I'm so glad. I'm so thankful. So I will never again, ever again talk bad about my state of Mississippi. Ever. Right? Now, sometimes the mentality of people, it takes them a long time to get things to where mentally they understand what's going on in this world, because we are so religious and encrypted, and so traditional and encrypted. But it's some things that I'm glad right now during this time that I'm traditionally a part of. And that's why I'm glad to be outside. And so back on my FICO has a resilience score right now. And it accounts, and your resilience score, the higher the score is from 1 to 99, the higher the score, the better your ranking. The lower your score, right? The lower your score, I think somebody's mowing, so I'm getting a lot of pollen over here. But the lower your score, right, from 1 to 99, the more at risk you are to the banks to lend you loans, right? So the more at risk you become for banks, and I'm drinking this alkaline water. Look at pH 0.9. Alkaline water, pH 0.9. So the more at risk you are to banks, the least likely you will be approved for loans. And so my message is to people that FICO 10 is already here. You are going to see a lot of people, possibly on YouTube, that has stopped talking about credit. They're going to start talking about credit again. There was someone on YouTube in particular that talked about how many millions of Americans right now cannot pay their credit card bills, right? But yet, when they found out how much Navy Federal was lending, they thought, oh, maybe I need to get up on Navy Federal and try to get some of those loans. Good afternoon, North Carolina in the house on YouTube. And so now they're seeing the power of credit, right? They are seeing that Navy Federal credit unions are not banks. And that's what a lot of people don't understand. Credit unions are not banks, people. Credit unions are operated by members. Let me wipe out my screen. By members. They are not under the same rules. Sorry, Facebook. I'm trying to wipe out my screen because pollen getting on. Or guidelines that banks are. And so they, during times of recession or depression, they lend out more than banks do. So if you have a family member that's a part of Navy Federal or even PenFed or any credit union that you can get in because they are under different laws and guidelines and regulation than banks are, you definitely need to be a part of a credit union right now. Because this is one thing I can say about credit. It is better to have it and not need it, right, than to need it and not have it. Hey Rick, thank you for the digital love. on YouTube. YouTube, you all need to get a thumbs up. I don't have but 9 right now. So you all coming in, kindly hit that thumbs up. Facebook, make sure you like and share this on your timeline. And Periscope, keep sending those hearts and digital love. And swipe right and share with your followers. Cornell, Mr. Mentor Freedom, said, yes, I have both Navy Federal and Penn, right, and Penn Fed. So it's better to have credit and not need it than to need it and not have it. And then my message is for people to get into silver, physical silver, not ETFs. Thank you, Periscope, for the purple hearts of digital love. Physical silver, because silver is not only a money metal, meaning that silver and gold is real money, right? And most people don't know that they never held money in their hand. They've only held currency, which is the printed dollar. They never held money in their hand. They never held a American Silver Eagle. They've never held a John F. K. coin. Hello, Rick from Indiana. They never held real money in their hands, right? And so they don't know what real money is. The only thing they held in their hand is dollar bills. And I'm telling you, people going out and exchanging paper currency, right? Paper currency for toilet tissue is a sign of what your paper currency is going to be worth in the times ahead. So someone on YouTube asked, what about USSA and Keysler Federal? Navy Fed is the king of financing. So if you know someone with Navy Fed, that will be good. But I'm advocating to anybody, if you can get any credit union account right now, USSA, Keysler Federal, you need to get it, because during times of recession, thank you for the digital love Periscope, during times of recessions, credit unions lend and lend and lend. And if you need to use credit cards for emergency situations or to feed your families, or until you're transitioning to job, maybe your job is doing layoffs and things like that, then that's exactly what you need to do. That's exactly what you need to do. Credit is leverage. Credit is power. Credit is queen. And the dollar is not king anymore, because crypto is going to be king, because the dollar is about to be digitalized. Credit is queen. What do I mean by that? In the game of chess, the queen is the most powerful piece on the board, because she has the options of making many moves, and she can promote a pawn to a king. Your credit can take you from living paycheck to paycheck to having paycheck after paycheck. So let me say that again. Your credit can take you from living paycheck to paycheck to having paycheck after paycheck. A lot of people don't know about infinite banking. They don't know about using the bank's money. Yes, it's leverage to make more money. Most people only know about credit from a consumer's mindset, meaning that I go out and I buy things that depreciate in value, not things that appreciate in value. Thank you, Cornell. Say hit the thumbs up on Facebook. Yeah, because I'm giving free game. People, I could be out here sipping on something else, enjoying my Saturday, but I'm here trying to inform you all, because the signs are here. Don't let anybody fool you. I don't care how big their following is, that that the FICO 10 won't be in effect. It's already in effect. You used to get an FHA loan, people, with a 580 credit score. Now it's 640 and 660 by major banks. My FICO's already changed their model, right? More changes are here to come. Actually, on my FICO website, they actually wrote out, when you go to myfico.com, look at the resilience score, and it actually explained what it was. It says, during the Great Recession of 2008, banks, hello, Miss Foster, banks were lending to risky lenders, and they do not want to put themselves in this position again. Banks were lending to risky lenders, and they do not want to put themselves in that position again. Now is the time before it officially becomes official at the end of July to get your credit on point. There will be a lot of homes at discounted prices. If you ever want to be a home buyer or you want to be an investor, a lot of people are using credit to invest in crypto because they know where the digital dollar is going. And banks are actually taking this time now with the main branch closing, right? They're taking this time now where they don't have to really. Someone just messaged me. I have a Navy Fed. What do you recommend in order for me to get approved for $20K? They're taking this time now where they don't have people coming inside for branches to prepare for the change or the switch over to the digital money. And even with this stimulus check that's coming, not check, they're telling you that checks are what they call electronic deposits. So it'll be electronically deposited into your checking account. So this is a sign of a digital transfer. Credit is going to be for the people who are positioned because they know now that the rich get richer during recessions. And you still have some people with a minority mindset that says, I don't want to use credit. I don't want to be in debt. Well, let me tell you, the best way to be an investor is to use the bank's money. Right? I'm totally against you taking credit cards and buying things that depreciate in value. That's not what I'm suggesting. I'm totally for you using credit cards for things that appreciate in value, right? So the changes are here. FHA guidelines have changed. My FICO has changed. Experian has changed. They've already on Experian added the terminology of credit and finance to Experian. 𝒞𝓄𝓃 has changed. They've already combined with Intuit. Intuit is a company that also helps with tax filing and financial debt services. So they're informing you now that we're going to look at your total debt now more than ever, not an AU trade line, right? So you have a lot of businesses that are still trying to push their last push and selling you an AU trade line to temporarily boost your credit score for 30 days. I wouldn't take the bait on that. I really wouldn't take the bait. Okay, someone on Periscope asks, you don't receive the stimulus check if you make over $100,000 a year. To my knowledge, is if you make earn income under $75,000, you will receive the stimulus check electronically deposited into your checking account if you file your taxes in 2008. If it's over 75,000, between 75,000 and it's 100 and something thousand, I forgot. You still will receive $1,200 for the family, but after you get over 100 something thousand is the number, then it'll be $200 less for families, right? So you have to file your 2018 tax return, and you have to receive your taxes through electronic deposit. And if you owe child support, then you will not receive it. And I'm not sure about student loans. All right, someone on YouTube, when applying for high increases, you must. Let me see that. When applying for high increases, you must check your credit profile. I found out the more inquiries you have on your credit profile, the less you will be. That's true on YouTube. The more inquiries, hard pulls on your credit report. So under the new FICO 10, when it's adopted in July, it's going to change from 5 to 8. Right now, currently, under the credit system, if you have more than 5 hard pulls or inquiries on your credit report, then you're more than likely to get disqualified for additional credit. So that means if I have 5 on TransUnion, 5 or more, if I have 6 on Equifax, if I have 6 on Experian, more than likely I will not be qualified for future credit. So you have to keep those inquiries down. Under the FICO 10, it's going to be a total of 8. A total of 8. So that means if I have 3 on Experian, this is just hypothetically speaking, 3 on Experian, 3 on Equifax, and 3 on it TransUnion, then that would disqualify me as well. So when you're casually going out shopping and someone asks you, employee of a retail store, for example, say, hey, would you like to apply for our credit card today? You'll get, 10 or 20% off your purchase or your total purchase. And you just freely say, oh yeah, let's try. I would like to get that discount. Well, if you don't get approved, or even if you get approved, and that counts as a hard inquiry on your credit report. And that hard inquiry, that's why when using your credit, you have to use it strategically. You just can't go out willy-nilly and let anybody pull your credit. You can't continue to just apply for credit cards and just say, I hope and pray I get approved. The more hard pulls and inquiries on the credit report, the lower your chances of getting approved. And that's even for housing. That's even for housing, right? So a lot of people just look at their score and they don't look at all the intricate details that the mortgage lenders or the banks look at for approval. You can have over a 7. I thought I saw a bird in the air. I was hoping so, because I heard at this radio. Oh yeah, I do see one bird. This radioactive wave are really killing out the birds as well. I see one bird. But so a lot of people just say, hey, I got over a 680. And a lot of people say FICO score. It's not their FICO score, because a lot of people don't even want to pay for my FICO.com. It's like $39. And they think their Vantage score is their FICO score. And what they see on Credit Karma is not their true credit score. But anyway, but they don't know the mortgage lender will also look at how many recent hard pulls, because they look at you as thirsty. They want to know, why do you have do you have an income problem? Why have so many people been pulling your credit report over the last couple of months, weeks, or years? Are you out of a job? Why are you so thirsty for credit? Okay, someone says the auto dealership put a lot of inquiries. Yeah, they will. That's what's called shotgun inquiries. When you go out shopping for a vehicle, they do something called shotgun inquiries. They will put up multiple. They will spit out your credit report to multiple banks at a time. So make sure that when you're going vehicle shopping, first of all, I read a report that stated that most Americans are paying new vehicle loans for over 7 years, over 6 and 7 years. I mean, that's an issue within itself. If you have a vehicle finance for that loan, and then you have a lot of, okay, I answered it on Periscope. Then you have a lot of 0% now, cash rebates. You have some new car lots that are just saying, hey, we're leasing our cars because they're not selling. It never makes sense to me to buy a new vehicle anyway, because they are such a depreciating asset. Meaning that as soon as you drive it off the lot, you're losing thousands and thousands of dollars. You can take it back the very next day. You can't get back what you paid for. So they're the highest depreciating asset. I always go to cargurus.com and purchase my vehicle used, and I cut out the middleman, which is the sales rep from, cut out his commission. And then I even went to Sam's yesterday, and I found out that if you go through, you can buy autos through Sam's, through TrueCar.com. Sam's have a partnership with TrueCar.com to purchase vehicles through them. But I always buy slightly used vehicles, and I always try to buy vehicles that someone had just turned in from a lease, because I know that they have been well maintained. So someone on Periscope asks, how long do inquiries stay on your credit report? Inquiries stay on your credit report for 2 years. One hard pull. And they affect your credit score by 2 to 5 points, sometimes higher depending on how many you have. And so I've had some people that through my credit consulting services just get old addresses and bankruptcies removed off their credit report, and their credit score have improved by 50 to 100 points just by doing those two things, because people don't understand. Also, the more addresses reporting on your credit report, those lower your credit score by 2 to 5 points as well. And also, when you have accounts, negative accounts connected to old or previous addresses, right, then the harder it is to get that account deleted off your credit report. So let's say, for example, you were living at, you're welcome Periscope and Facebook, thank you for the digital love. Let's say you were living at 11 Jones Avenue, New York, right? Yeah, 2 years is correct, Periscope. You were living at 111 Jones Avenue, New York, and at that address you got a collection, right? And now you relocated and you're trying to get that collection deleted off of your credit account. Well, one way the credit agencies verify that collection is they connect it to the account that the collection was connected to. And so when they send you something back in the mail and or online and say, hey, we verified this account, you don't know how they verified it. Well, they verified it by the address. And Experian is really, really good. If you have an account with Experian, you need to get this, and it's free. Experian is really, really good that once you create that free account for Experian, then you go to stroll all the way down and it has dispute information on your credit report. Click on that blue, it's a blue tab, and go to the dispute center on Experian. And then it has click on view dispute information. I don't recommend disputing anything online except your addresses. You don't want to dispute collections, charge off, bankruptcy, etc., because you relinquish some of your rights. But go ahead and create an account, get your name in the database, so when you do dispute the collections, the charge off, the inquiries, the bankruptcies, you already have a profile in. And you will see that on Experian, when you click on old addresses to dispute under the dispute center, you can select, it'll give you different options. If you select the option of no longer live there, it will say you cannot dispute this address because these accounts are connected with it. That's just how powerful getting addresses deleted off your credit report is. And when you have these credit gurus, right, and things like that, they don't even mention that as a part of the process. So when you get these addresses deleted, then it helps to get those negative accounts connected to the addresses as well. Thank you, Periscope. I am being safe. You all don't know the sun is a natural source of vitamin D. Vitamin D builds your immune system. And I'm so afraid that a lot of people are not even getting outside to sit in the sun to get the natural born health remedies that we have exposed to us, right? And it's sad. I'm just really thankful that that I'm able to still go to a gym, work out, have part of my cardio, and I'm not surrounded by any 5G towers that's releasing radioactive waves. I've also researched on Amazon, for example, certain stones that you can get even if you're in front of your computer, and that releases the EMF wave, which is 5G waves, natural stones in the earth, to help you if you're a person that's working from home, because a lot of jobs are transitioning to work from home now, to help you from not get that radioactive waves from that. So I'm buying those stones on Amazon, and when those stones come in, God has put so many things on this earth for our health and healing, especially herbs. One of my things is black elderberry. Take that every day to combat flus and viruses, emergency, vitamin C, and things like that. So, Rick, on YouTube said, how much is my credit repair services? Rick, you have to go to my website, which is www.fixmycreditconsulting.com. Someone on yeah, let me see, can I type it in? I don't know, I'm on my laptop now, but I'll do it when it uploads because I don't know how to type it in. I usually be on my computer, but I'm outside on my laptop. Okay, you need 2 late pays and 20 inquiries off. Rick, go to www.fixmycreditconsulting.com and go to the tab of Credit Book Help Online, and that consultation is $75, small deposit. I will look at your credit report, and then I will let you know how long it takes those inquiries in the process to get deleted. And that $75 small deposit, if you sign up as a client, will be deducted from the consultation services as well. So www.mycreditcash.com. Rick says those stones are all over the place out here in the Moab Desert of California. Really, Rick? I wish you could go get some and ship them to me, Rick. All right, phone is dying. Thank you. I'm about to log off as well, Periscope. Thank you so much. Periscope, make sure you swipe right and share with your followers. Lee said, I purchased my silver stacking report yesterday. How long it take to receive it? Okay, Rick said he got it. He's on the website. Rick, my silver stacking report. As soon as I log off, Rick, I'll email it. Lee, I'll email it to you. The silver stacking report, for those who want to know, is for people, and I have found this honey hole in Mississippi. So long as I'm able to get out and about, going to purchase as much silver as I can, because and that's why I'm telling you all, people, everything you need now to get richer in this recession is scarcity to find. That's why FHA loans guidelines have recently changed. That's why the credit score FICO 10 is coming in July, because they don't want you to have access to what the rich and wealthy is doing. And so now silver is scarce to find online, because I tell people silver is not only money, but it's an industrial metal. Silver has 2 uses: for monetary exchange. My friend Rick just told me in Las Vegas right now they are accepting physical silver and gold as payment in Las Vegas right now. So silver is accepted throughout all the global world as currency and money. Silver has always been God's money from the end of time. It's just a lot of people always think that paper printed currency that's not backed by anything is money. They don't know what money really is. And if you follow anything, if you're a student of history, you know J.P. Morgan testified, right, that silver and gold was real money. And J.P. Morgan banks have acquired $1.5 million of silver recently. China banks has acquired more than they ever have in 2 years, more silver and gold in their possession. And so what I mean by silver is also an industrial metal. Is silver can not only use for monetary purposes, but silver is also used in your computers, in electronic batteries, as well. Silver is also used for weapons of mass destructions. If we go into war, it is used in so many. And now silver is becoming more scarce than gold, because gold is usually hoarded by the rich and wealthy. Gold is for king, silver is for queens. And now it's about $25 an ounce, where if you would have bought it last month, you could have got it for about $18 an ounce. And so if we ever should have to go to war, when Tesla making more of these electronic cars, and silver is also used for solar panels and electricity as well. So silver is going to be a big commodity that if you have in your possession, you can get 10 times of your return of your investment back. And so what my silver stacking report does is let you know What silver, like the number 5 on my report, gives you a 300% return once silver become available again, and when you can invest and buy that silver online, a 300% return on your cash dollar. So why wouldn't you want silver now when you know that cash is about to be changed to digital currency? So what the rich and wealthy do is they convert the paper dollars, right? They convert their paper dollars into silver and gold, so they're not losing their value, because right now your dollar by the day is losing its purchasing power. You think that the pricing of things are just increasing, but what it really is that the dollar is losing the purchasing power, meaning that a dollar in the 1930s could purchase one loaf of bread. Now a dollar in 2020, it takes 3 or 4 of them to purchase one loaf of bread. And it might take more than 3 or 4, because I have a friend girl that showed me on Amazon, they were selling bread for like $3, $4, $5, but it's $8 to ship. So it's $13, $14 for a loaf of bread in total cost on Amazon, right? All right, so Rick said, yes, been a follower of Minister Farrakhan. We are encouraged to invest in gold and silver. Okay. I don't see him much on social media now, so I don't know what Farrakhan is up to, what he's doing. I don't see him much on gold and silver. I mean, on social media, so I don't know about his philosophy about gold and silver. So yeah, so you know that they're changing to digital dollars, and that the dollar is about to be obsolete or done away with. So why would you save and stack dollars at this time? You need to convert your dollar into real asset, whether that's into real estate, into buying some land. There's plenty of rental properties that you can rent out to people that are essential employees. Don't let people misguide you and tell you that you don't want to be a landlord at this time. There are plenty firefighters, police officers, nurses, doctors that you can Airbnb. Get these housing. Real estate have been overpriced for years, right? Overpriced for years, and now you're going to have an opportunity to invest in real estate for real cheap, and your credit is going to deny a lot of you all, right? You're not going to be. And I always ask the question, are you positioned for prosperity? All right, someone else, then I'm signing out, because I'm about to go watch Left Behind. I'm about to go watch the movie Left Behind. All right, Brandon says, I saw a picture of McDonald's menu from 1970. A filet of fish sandwich was 48 cents. And Brandon, that's a great point. So, oh my God, I did a video on this, but I forgot the price, the value of silver in that time in 1940. But I mean 1970. But I'm just gonna say this: the same amount of silver in 1970 that you can purchase 10 fillet of fish with is the same amount of silver that you can purchase the same fillet of fish with, even with the price increasing today. Silver and gold is God's money, and they always hold their value. For example, when gold was taken off of the dollar, gold used to be backed by the dollar. It was a part of the gold standard, right? You could not print out as many paper dollars as the bank physically had gold in their possession. So we was under the gold standard until 1971. But when we were under the gold standard, gold then was priced at $35 an ounce. Gold was priced at $35 an ounce, right? Once President Nixon took gold off the standard, meaning that now they can print as much paper money or, transfer money as they wanted to. They did not have, okay, Lee said it was $1.80 an ounce in 1970. So you all do the math for me. If gold was $1.80 an ounce in 1970, and a fillet of fish was 48 cents, then how many fillet of fish could you buy in 1970 at $1.80 an ounce? And then let me know how much filet of fish is today. And then we're going to put gold. I think gold spot price now is, I think about $14-15 an ounce. But the purchasing price of gold is about $25 an ounce. So if you do the math, if gold was, silver, silver was $1.80 in 1970 an ounce. That's how much 1 ounce of gold was. And the filet of fish was 48 cents. The same amount of filet of fish that you can purchase in 1970 at $1.80 an ounce, you can about purchase that same amount, even with the price increasing of silver today. Because Lee, let me know how much silver is an ounce. Now it's selling for $25 online at the least, but I think the spot price, it may be $14 or $15 because I just went to a local store to purchase some and they told me the spot price was at $14. So silver and gold always has intrinsic value. They never lose their purchasing power where your dollar does, right? Where your dollar does. And so when it was silver and gold was taken off the gold standard, it only increased the prices. It only made them more valuable because it's scarcity and it's real money. So a lot of people ask me, well, do you think we're going back to the gold standard? No, I don't. I think we're going to crypto. Because right now Bitcoin is just as valuable as gold. But that's not the only crypto that would be used. There's some smaller altcoins that will be used in this transitioning. So people that's telling you to just stack your cash, wait till this full, recession comes about. We're already in a recession. Goldman Sachs, Bank of America has said it. Your cash, if you're keeping under your beds, if you have already been smart enough to take as much as you can out of the bank, if you don't convert it into real commodities, meaning that if you don't use it to purchase real estate, if you don't use it to invest in silver right now, it is going to be worthless because we are transitioning to a cashless society. And if you don't have the knowledge or the mindset to use your credit to invest versus being a consumer, then you will always be behind the 8 ball. Because credit, people, is just leverage, right? I always say that, and I always look at the biblical example of 2 Kings chapter 4, how this lady used credit to get out of bad debt. Just imagine if you paid off all your debts and you don't increase your cash flow, you're still going to be in the same position today that you was in yesterday. You have to have real assets, and you cannot be afraid to use credit to get that. So Lee, I will email you the Silver Stacking Report. If you all want the Silver Stacking Report, go to my website again, www.fixbadcredit.com. Lee Sands, the silver today spot price is $14.69. So if it was $1.80 and your filet of fish was 48 cents, that's about the same amount of filet of fish that you can purchase in 1970 at 48 cents with silver at $1.80 is the same amount that you can purchase today with silver now being worth $14.69. I gotta get on that silver. Okay, Rick, just go to www.fixbadcredit.com. Scroll all the way down. It's a small investment. I give you over 10 silver round bars and bullion that you need to invest in. Because even if you never use silver for money, right? Even if we do move to crypto, silver and the mining, you all have to think. The more I want to get off because I'm out of water, a new thought comes, so I'm signing off. But you all have to think, if this pandemic, this health illness continues to be pushed by the government, they're not going to have people mining. They have this 6-foot rule now. So they're not going to have people mining for gold and silver. So you need to get it while you can. But we're still moving to a more digitalized society. And then just think about it. Best Buy right now do not have computers in stock. Best Buy do not have computers in stock right now. You can't even find computers. So you got more people working from home, more computers that have to be produced, which is more silver on demand. If they keep up with this pandemic, they're not going to have people with mining anymore, because they don't want people in those mining conditions 6 feet away from each other. And so silver is scarcity. So when they open back silver next month, you need to know what to invest in so you can get a great return on your investment. So get that silver stacking report. You want credit help to position yourself for this prosperity transfer. Go to my website too. Go to Credit Book Online. Get that consultation. I just got something in the mail for my business, basketball business, that I received $40,000 in credit. I'm definitely going to take that offer up. And that was a business that I formed years ago, really had forgot about that I even had it as a business corp. Annie says you got to be ordering $300 or more silver from some of those sites. Well, Arnie Foster. That's why I told people that you should have been getting silver weeks ago. So now you got to put $300 in the game. But like I say, I'm just glad I have a local spot in Mississippi. And I think I purchased all the silver that I could out of there, where I don't have to pay those shipping and handling fees. But, people just like their credit. Yeah, because it's high demand. And you want to get things that's high demand. I've been telling people, I've been faithfully calming social media for months and months, screaming like, what's that chicken? Whatever that cartoon character, that the world is coming to an end. And I've been telling people FICO 10 is here, FICO 10 is coming, and now people seeing the change. Now people see the changes in the FHA scores, where now you can't get an FHA loan with a 580 credit score. Got to be 640 or 660. So now the change is it's here. But if you have $300 in cash and you have to spend that much to get silver, that's still better than keeping something that's going to be about worth toilet tissue, is that a lot of people are putting that cash into now. That's still a good investment, because when we go digital, then what is your money going to be worth? The paper money. All right, you all. So I'm glad you all can hear me. I probably will be outside more. I got enough my vitamin D, so I'm finna go watch Left Behind and clean the interior of my home. And I'm just so thankful to be outside and to be in Mississippi at this time. Hey, you all, this is the Queen of Credit. I'm signing off. This is to your prosperity, to your peace, and to your credit and cash flow.